and welcome to my shop. Today I show you how I made this table. Story behind the table: as we Christians do have our Christmas in a couple of weeks, my Yazidi friends got something similar. They are in their fixing time at the moment, and on the last day, it's like on our Easter, they have a big event going on, and in this event they are well, it's like we do at Easter. There's a lot of food around, and well, the mother of my friend asked me to make her a table. Well, actually the table, it looks pretty, well, I don't know what you want to call it, but actually this table is used for making bread, and they are sitting in front of this and rolling out the dough, and the dough has to be extreme thin, and that's the reason why this table is actually not that high, because they are sitting in front of there. When they are sitting there for a whole day just rolling out the dough, it won't be that nice to do it standing, and also it's their traditional way. Well, the challenge for me had been, she asked me, well, Peter, I've got 2 boards for you, could you make me a table? And I said, okay, I can make you a table. And then she said, well, it has to be this and this and this size. And I said, well, you normally don't call this a table, but well, it worked out quite nice, and I hope she's able to make the bread on there, because I love all the food they are making, and the bread is essential for the dishes they are doing. So follow me along and see how I made this table here. And when you don't want to have this for making bread, you can also use this as a side table, well, putting up your Christmas tree on there or something like that. So enjoy the build, and thank you very much for joining in this time. What I got over here is the top of existing cabinet, well, of a reclaimed cabinet, and this is furniture grade pine. So in order to prepare this piece for making the round tabletop, I went ahead and well, just marked a square on here and found the center, which is this one, and I drilled a shallow pivot point here. This is 10 millimeters, well, 15 millimeters. This is 15 millimeters deep, and I extended my existing well, jig for my router, which actually is the advantage of that one is you can go ahead and adjust it like you want within increments of well, thousands of millimeters at all. The worst thing on this router is the fact that you can't lose the grip while routing. Okay, if you start up routing a circle like this, it comes to a problem when you're in a stage over here, somewhere like here. Then all of a sudden you realize that well, your hand is bending like hell. So I'll do this in 2 passes and doing a half circle on that. I have a grab on the dowel, so this gives me the chance to control the actual pivot point here. So let's do some noise. The next step on cutting this circle is I take my jigsaw, and actually you have to ensure that the blade you're using is upwards cutting. This means it cuts into the teeth are pointing this direction. So whenever the saw pulls the blade, it is cutting. Okay, and to do this on my table saw, I raised it by about 60 millimeters, and I just ensure that when the blade is fully protruding, it's not hitting the table saw. Okay, just get some power to it. Try to move away. Well, I'm not cutting on this inner rim here. I'm cutting just in the middle of this section somewhere. So it's not necessary to be that precise at this moment. And I think I'll start with here. Just go ahead, see, I got this underneath here. This actually raises the whole board from the surface of my table saw here, and I just adjust it that way that I've got an easy way to cut now. So now the next part starts, and I just flip this around, and well, I guess I have to take away this here. Okay. I start by flush trimming this half circle here, and then I just flip it around and do the other half. That's kind of perfect now. So just go ahead, prepare the rod. router for the next router bit, which will be the round over bit, and start sanding on this one, as I want to get rid of the old paint. Well, this is the underside of the final table, but I still go ahead and plug in a couple of dowels into the holes which had been in here, just in case somebody might turn the table around and look to the underside. I don't want to be blamed doing some lazy work. I missed the whole footage of the bandsaw, but what I did, I just went ahead and cut away this part here, and I had to ensure that the clamps don't get into contact with the table. And now that it is all cut out, the same as it had been down here, I head over to the drill press and sand away the saw marks here. To remove the dowels I inserted in the back of the tabletop, I just take my saw, and this is kind of a flush trim saw, as it actually has got no offset on the teeth. Go ahead and just cutting away on the dowels. This is that flexible. I can also go ahead and do this on this one here as well. Let's start by cutting from one side and finishing off from the other side. So this leaves a clean cut without tear out at the end. The router is on the same setup as it had been yesterday, so there should be no problem at all. So this is it. This actually left a pretty smooth round over on all these edges, and now it's time to switch over to my biggest round over bit in order to round over my the legs I'm making. Now both the legs are rounded over, and as you see, this is almost, it feels pretty nice the way I actually thought. And now I'll just go ahead and sand down the surfaces, as I want to put an oil on here and have to get rid of the old finish which is on here. Well, for sanding this big flat surface, I use my belt sander. Well, as always, when you are sanding, you should use breathing protection, especially if you're sanding something you don't know what is on there. And as I'm trying to sand, well, as I'm sanding away the old finish here, and I don't know what finish this is, well, breathing protection is essential. Although the belt sander is attached to the vacuum, and well, I don't want to miss the breathing protection. Looks kind of funny, but well, it's your health. Well, you should do this until you are satisfied with the surface, and well, this is the nicest surface I've ever had. So, on the next step, I go ahead and route the grooves for mounting the legs. That's perfect. You can't even feel the intersection here. That's really what I wanted. Okay, now that the grooves are done, it's time to get the tongues to the legs, and I'll do this over at the router table. Well, this is the moment of truth. I go ahead and start, well, try to glue this into the base onto the tabletop. Now instead of clamps, I go ahead and put some weight on here. Then I'll wait until the glue is dry. This is it. Yeah. This looks nice. Okay. Now that the last coat of oil-based finish is dry, I just buff out the surface here with a dry rag, and I call it finished. So I used an oil-based finish for the table, and this is food safe. Well, you can get this in Germany. I don't know about same things in America or England, but it worked quite nice, and I hope this will be a very nice table for the purpose the lady wants it to. So thank you very much for watching, and leave a comment and good old Germany. It's your Peter Freitag. Thank God it's Friday.